Hello students, I welcome you all once again. In this class, we are going to learn the applications of complex compounds. Okay, so what is it students? Applications of complex compounds. The first application is in qualitative analysis. Okay, so the first application of complex compounds, how they are used in qualitative analysis. Under this we have few example students. Example number 1, in separation of silver and mercury ions from each other, how silver and mercury can be separated. Okay, so let us learn how they can be separated. So first here you should notice one point students. Silver ions, when treated with dilute HCl, they form a white precipitate of silver chloride. What is the reaction here? Ag plus HCl gives rise to AgCl, that is silver chloride plus H plus. Okay, so when does this happen students? When silver ions are treated with dilute HCl, they result in the formation, it results in the formation of a white silver chloride precipitate. Okay, and this white silver chloride precipitate, when treated with ammonia, it gets dissolved in ammonia. Why? Because it can form a silver ammonia complex. So that reaction also I have given here. AgCl white precipitate plus 2 NH3 gives rise to AgNH3 twice Cl, that is diamine silver chloride complex. Okay, understood this point students? Silver ions, what are they doing when treated with dilute HCl? Forms silver chloride white precipitate. This silver chloride precipitate is soluble in ammonia. Okay, why we can say that it is soluble in ammonia? Because it can form a complex, that is silver ammonia complex. Okay, reactions are as follows. Ag plus HCl gives rise to AgCl plus H plus. AgCl plus 2 NH3 gives rise to AgNH3 twice Cl. Okay, now this silver ammonia complex, how is this silver ammonia complex formed? Just now we have seen AgCl, when it is treated with ammonia, it gets dissolved and forms the silver ammonia complex. Okay, and this silver ammonia complex is soluble in water, by which we say that it can be separated from Hg2Cl2. And also on treatment with excess HNO3, it decomposes to give AgCl back. Okay, so silver ammonia complex students, when it is treated with excess HNO3, that is dilute nitric acid, it decomposes to give silver chloride. So look at the reaction. Silver ammonia complex formed in the above reaction, AgNH3 twice Cl plus 2 HNO3 gives rise to AgCl plus 2NH4NO3. Okay, remember this, what all happened in the above reactions. First, what happened? Ag plus ions, when treated with dilute HCl, converted into white AgCl precipitate. Okay, when this AgCl precipitate is treated with ammonia, it is soluble and also it forms a silver ammonia complex. This silver ammonia complex is dissolving in water, and when treated with excess HNO3, it gives us AgCl back. Okay, clear till here? Now, look at the other point. The white precipitate of Hg2Cl2. So how is this HgCl2 being formed? When dilute HCl is added to a mercury salt, we get Hg2Cl2. Look at the reaction below. Hg2 plus 2 HCl gives rise to Hg2Cl2 plus 2H plus. Okay, this is also a white precipitate. Above, AgCl also is a white precipitate. So we are learning about the separation of silver and mercury from each other. Okay, so this white precipitate of Hg2Cl2 turns into a black compound when treated with ammonia. So what happened to AgCl when treated with ammonia? It formed a complex, and when treated with dilute HNO3, it is giving AgCl back. Okay, but Hg2Cl2, when it is treated with ammonia, it is turning into a black colored compound. We are not getting Hg2Cl2 back. Okay. So look at the reaction given below. Okay students, clear till here? So this is the reaction between Hg2Cl2 and ammonia. So what is being formed? A black compound, that is NH2HgCl plus Hg plus NH4Cl is being formed, that is a black compound. Okay, so in this way we can separate silver and mercury ions from one another. Okay, and second example given here, separation of second A group elements from second B group elements. Students, here second group elements, for example Hg, Pb, Cu and Cd, and also second B group elements, when they are treated with hydrogen sulfide in the presence of dilute HCl, they are precipitated as sulfides. Okay. So in second group there are second A group elements and second B group elements. So second A group as well as second B group elements, when treated with hydrogen sulfide in the presence of dilute HCl, they are being precipitated together as sulfides. Okay, so now these sulfides can be separated from adding yellow ammonium sulfide. Okay students, the sulfides of second A group elements and second B group elements can be separated from one another by adding yellow ammonium sulfide. Okay, and this separation is based on the fact that the precipitate of second B group cations can form soluble complexes with yellow ammonium sulfide, whereas second A group elements remain unaffected. Okay, so when second A group elements and second B group elements are treated with H2S, they are converting into sulfides. Okay, and these sulfides can be separated from one another by adding yellow ammonium sulfide. How they can be separated, students? When second B group sulfides, okay, when they are reacted with yellow ammonium sulfide, they form soluble complexes, whereas second A group elements do not react or they remain unaffected. Okay, so you can observe the reaction given below. Okay, when arsenic sulfide treated with yellow ammonium sulfide, it is giving us a complex, that is ammonium trisulfidoarsenate. Okay, 3. Fine. Okay, this is about separation of 2A group elements from 2B group elements. Okay students, clear? Next, second application in quantitative analysis. Till now we have seen about qualitative analysis. Okay, so now this is about in quantitative analysis. For example, in the estimation of Mg plus 2 or Zn plus 2 or Cu plus 2 or hardness of water by EDTA using an indicator EBT, that is Eriochrome black tea, maintaining pH at 10. Okay, so in the estimation of Mg plus 2 or Zn plus 2 or Cu plus 2 or hardness of water by EDTA. What is EDTA, students? Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, and using an indicator EBT, that is Eriochrome black tea, maintaining pH at 10. Here all these ions which we have written in the above sentence, they can form complex compounds with EDTA. Okay, so by that we can estimate the above ions. Okay, so this is the reaction when Mg plus 2 or Zn plus 2 or Cu plus 2 react with EDTA. They form a complex like this with the EDTA. Okay students, clear? Also, in estimation of Ni plus 2 using dimethyl glyoxime, shortly we call it as DMG, using an indicator muroxide. Okay, and here Ni plus 2 forms a complex compound of coordination number 4 with dimethyl glyoxime. Given below is the reaction between Ni plus 2 molecules of DMG forming nickel DMG complex. Okay, so in estimation of Ni plus 2 by DMG using an indicator mu oxide. This also you can write under quantitative analysis. Also in the estimation of potassium, that is K plus with tetraphenyl borate. Here also it forms a complex compound with tetraphenyl borate. Okay students, so like this you can quote few applications of complex compounds in qualitative analysis as well as in quantitative analysis. Okay, so understood students, when you are asked the question, write down the applications of complex compounds in analytical chemistry, then you can write these two applications with the examples given under the two applications, that is first one in qualitative analysis and second one in quantitative analysis. Okay students, hope I made all these points clear to you. Write down all these points in your notebook and learn them carefully. Okay, thank you.